As our professor introduced me, my name is Bill Padilla, and I was a team captain for the train concept titled Emerald Express. The four main design criteria we wanted to go for in this concept was a holistic brand experience, simple design solutions that enhance the user experience, and trying to implement those in the areas of passenger seat and storage design, as well as dining car design. So the first thing we started to do when we took on this task of designing a whole train was really defining what we want our brand experience to be with the Emerald Express. So that means for us, picking sources of inspiration, setting a color scheme, and even going down to the details of designing membership cards and logos and graphics for our train. After that, we decided to go work our way from the outside in, so designing the exterior and implementing those brand cues and brand experiences from what we did saw on the previous slide and showcasing those in the exterior of the train. And the main challenge for my team was, that I sort of challenged my teammates to do, was something we saw an opportunity in those current train sets today, was how can we, minimize that gap where you go from the exterior of the train and you see it pulling into the station, and then once you go in to the interior, you still have that brand experience where you don't see that gap now with the train sets. So how we make that brand experience go seamlessly from the exterior to the interior to get that holistic brand experience that we set out to do in the beginning. I had my team start off by examining the passenger car from the interior and cross-section view. So we did some quick sketches of cross-section views of a typical passenger train. Well, you'll see the overhead luggage compartments or luggage racks and passenger seats and the train floor. So one thing we did for this concept in particular was seeing how we could create a different experience for the passenger. And one thing we looked at and really concentrated on was switching up the way the storage is integrated with the seating and opening the space up. So what you see is we did here was sort of take advantage of the space beneath the train car and integrate the storage compartments beneath the seating. And thus, we were able to eliminate the overhead storage racks and make a more open experience and environment for the user. So in this story, it'll illustrate those key design points that we went through. You'll be able to lift the seat bottom and access the compartment there. And this is mainly for backpacks and rolling luggage, bigger carry-ons that you want to have secure, and you know where they are, and you don't really need to necessarily access them at all times, but you want to know that they're secure and in place. And they'll be able to close the seat bottom, then sit down. So the main advantages we saw with this concept was it eliminates the hoisting and lifting up, so for elderly people to get that stuff up there and take it down. You know where your stuff is, it's under your seat, it's safely in there, so no one's going to mistakenly take it for their own. And yeah, like I said, it's not going to move around. If there's any shaking on the train, there's no danger of it falling down and hurting somebody. So it's all safely underneath the seat. And as a team, we also did some proof of concept. So we just did a really simple test for this. We constructed a compartment out of a cardboard box, the dimensions of our concept, to show that this could really fit a regular size rolling luggage and a backpack with still some vertical space to give for some more items in there. So now I'll go to the more specific features of the seat that we designed. First thing will be the center console. So this console is centrally located between the two passengers for ease of use and convenience for both of them. And what it offers them is each of them 2 electrical outlets and 1 audio port, as well as a seat recline control and a light control. We'll zoom back out and we'll go into the headrest area. So one thing you'll see here, if you look at these headrests in particular, what I did was design the headrest. There's 2 different headrests. You can see better from the back view when you go there too. One of them rises on the left and dips down on the right, and the other one's the opposite. So by doing that, I figure if you do it in this orientation for this row, in the subsequent row, you'll switch them and you have this unique undulating type of aisle view from the passenger. So it's not the same straight, boring view of the aisle straight down. So just by doing some simple innovations, but really trying to see how we could integrate the seating in there for a unique aisle view to help that out. So we also integrated seat tag numbers for self-identification for the passengers to find their seat, as well as some adjustable LED technology lighting, which was, like I said, adjustable so it could be rearranged and however the user wants them to be. It also provides light from the back to provide optimal viewing for reading materials when you're reading a book or a magazine. So now we'll move to the back of the seat. And with this, you'll see I'll continue with the storage concept that I've been doing. for this seat concept. And it continues with this lower cargo net, which is typically now designated for books and magazines. But now I've designed this so it's now designated for smaller items such as purses, bags, or lunch boxes, things that you want to have access to constantly during the trip when you want to eat lunch or get money out of your purse or something. So you could store that stuff in that lower cargo net. And one thing, like I said, was integrating these simple design solutions, but I think could really enhance the user experience of the train was simply adding a cargo net underneath the tray table. And what this does is now you could designate that net for things such as iPods, MP3 players, books, and magazines. So when the tray table is down, you can still access that stuff and have to fumble around going over the tray table or lifting it back up to get where they would usually be in the lower cargo net. And the last thing I decided to add into the seat was a multimedia touchscreen, which allows the user to have access to movies, games, and also my fellow student. You'd be able to order food from here too, directly from your seat, and be able to pick it up at the dining car. So that leads me to our dining car concept. For this too was seeing how a simple solution could really sort of bring out the user experience for that dining car. So one thing that my team proposed was a strategic partnership with an established brand, established franchise such as Outbound Paying, which offers a really nice variety of menu items. And it's already well established, like I said. It's very tight branding, it's well packaged and well presented. So what we did with that was design kiosks and design touchscreen ordering kiosks to optimize line flow throughout this car. And so they could order from the kiosk, they could go in person and order, they could order from their seats. So there's a constant line flow through the car. And offering the passengers lounge seating as well as single bar seating and booth seating to accommodate any type of passenger, whether you're an individual or if you're in a group. And to finish off with my part of the presentation, is an overall concept rendering of what the Outbound Paying and dining car fusion can look like within our concept.